Thank you, guys. Thank you. Let me introduce myself. I'm Bobby. I work with Doña County Vector Control, which is mosquito control. What we do, guys, we go around looking for water. Standing water is the most important thing for the mosquito because that's what it needs for it to survive. Also needs your blood. But the main thing is going to be the water also. So there's different things that we do. We got to find the water, we got to treat it with the chemical. What Orlando's doing here, he's putting a chemical into this water. So if there's any larva in there, it's going to drown the larva. Also, it takes the tension away from the water. The female comes in thinking she's going to be able to stand on the water, but she can't because the tension's gone. Instead of standing on the water, she's going to sink to the bottom and she's going to drown. So this chemical has two purposes. And again, all our chemicals are earth friendly. Okay, it's not going to harm the fish, it's not going to harm the birds, just the mosquito. This is a dip. This is what we pulled out of one little area of 4 acres. Remember, can you imagine 4 acres, how big it is? And this is what we found on one little spot? Do you think millions of mosquitoes are going to fly out of there? Yes, huh? A lot of mosquitoes. So this is what we go around and we try to treat this water if we can. Again, we got to go around looking for pecan orchards. Look at the pecan orchard. Here, do you think we use math here? Yes, we do, because we got to figure out how big this area is and how much chemical we got to figure out to put in there. Just like you guys use your math every day, right? So we got to do the same thing. Even as adults, we got to use our math. Pecan orchards are a big place right now because look at all that water that's just standing there. The farmers right now are watering their trees a lot because they want their pecans to get bigger. So that's why they flood these areas so much. But look at all that water. So once she goes out and gets her blood meal, she knows where she can come and lay her eggs. Again, this is Orlando. What he's going to do, he's going to spray that acnique on this water. This is loading docks that the farmers have out in the country. What they do here, they back their trailers in and they load their equipment, but they never put a drain on them. So we come in and we're going to treat this water because, is that water dirty? Yes. It's nice, nice and green, beautiful area for mosquitoes. So Orlando, what he's going to do, he's going to spray the chemical from this point to this point, jump on his 6-wheeler, go to the next job. About 15 minutes later, that chemical from here is going to be all the way over here. So that water is going to be protected from the mosquitoes. Any larva that's in there is probably drowned. Again, we use different kinds of chemicals. What Juan's doing right here, spreading a granule on this small amount of water. It depends on the size of water, what chemical we use. It's like a popcorn. You throw it into the water, it soaks up the water, and it opens up and releases the chemical into the water. So that's going to kill whatever larva's in there. Tires. Do you think that mosquitoes will like that? Yes, they love tires. Because what happens when the rain comes down? It fills up the tires, right? Now, are we making a hotel for the mosquitoes? Because now they got water, right? Exactly. So tires, we do not want them thrown in the desert. Take them to the dump where they can get disposed of the right way. Because we're just making the situation worse by making a house for them. How about the canals? You see all that dirt in there, right? The grass and cups and everybody just throws their trash. Underneath there, do you think there's water? Yes. You can see the water right there. And that's a nice little area because the larva's protected. The eggs are protected because that grass is on top. Nothing can get to it. So it's a beautiful place for mosquitoes to be able to lay their eggs there. Again, any place like culverts that go underneath the roads, they hold water for a long time. It's a beautiful place here for the mosquito. See how we're dipping in there, trying to see what's in there? If we find larvae in there, we're going to treat that water. We don't want them to fly. Our number one thing is larviciding. We want to kill the mosquito when they're still in the water. What you're seeing right there, all that is the pupa of the mosquito. That is getting ready to hatch. So can you imagine how many mosquitoes are going to come out of there? They're all going to come out hungry. And these are the fish, which are these right here. They're called gambusia. This is what they do when we're releasing them into the wild. They grow up to 2 inches. The males grow up to about an inch, inch and a quarter, something like that. So they're not that big, but they're very aggressive, guys. They're very aggressive. And they're like, you know, Santa Claus has elves. These are our elves because they help us out when we put them out into areas. And they're always going to have young, so they're going to populate the area that they're in. This is Joe. What he's doing, he's releasing the fish. And we do raise them, we have a pond, and we give them away to you. These fish are very, very effective at eating the larva of the mosquito. Again, this is where the fish come in. You see how the swamp is out there? This is where the fish can be released. We know that water is always going to be there. They're going to multiply. They're going to completely get this covered with fish, and they're going to maintain that with the larva and keep the mosquitoes from hatching out of there. Even the stock tanks that are out there is for the cattle to come and drink water from. Who do you think we have in there? The fish, exactly. The fish are in there now. They're taking care of that water. So there's hardly any mosquitoes in there now. These people here went to a lot of trouble to build this, but they forgot they were in mosquito country. So this got infested with mosquitoes. We treated the water and everything, and now the fish are controlling that. Okay, we turned the fish loose. It's been a while now. We haven't had any problems with it. We got to set traps because we got to find out what kind of mosquitoes are in the area and what kind of viruses they're carrying. So we got to trap them. We can't come and say, hey, come to the doctor here. You know, we can't do that. So we got to trap them. So this is a water trap. What we mix there is manure. And there's a little cylinder right there with a little motor, and it sucks the mosquito into the net. And the next day we come and pick it up, and this is what we find. Can you see all the mosquitoes on the bottom? There's quite a bit in there, huh? Also, we got another trap, which, and don't get scared, it's just me at 4 o'clock in the morning. This trap is called a CO2 trap. And what do you think we put in that bag? And I'm going to give you a hint. It's very cold. Dry ice, exactly. Dry ice emits a lot of carbon dioxide, just like you guys do. When you exhale what? Carbon dioxide, right? Mosquitoes smell that. It travels a little ways. Mosquitoes smell that, and they're going to come and follow it and see where you're at. Once again, about maybe 10 feet from you, they can start smelling the blood through your skin. We got to set it up. So that's just what we put in here, dry ice. This has a little motor, sucks the mosquitoes into the net, and then we take them to the shop. We put them in vials, 25 females. We put 2 BBs and an oil, and we just blend them. We turn them into a liquid because that's just what we want, because we want the body parts, the liquid of the mosquito, because if it has blood, we want to see what kind of virus they're carrying. We put them on the slide, the samples, and then into this machine, and that'll tell us if we got positive or negative. This is one of the trucks. We sort of wanted you to see how the fog comes out. You can barely see the white of the fog coming out, right? Usually this nozzle is in a 45-degree angle because we want it to go up into the air. It goes up into the air, then it spreads, and it starts to come down like a blanket. And then mosquito that's underneath there, it's gonna kill it. This is the truck at night. We just want you to see the blue lights. When you see these trucks at night with the blue lights, it's a vector control out there fogging for the adult mosquitoes. How about the fair? You always find us at the fair because we always want to talk to you guys. We always want to educate and tell you guys about the mosquitoes. The trailer's set up. Come and visit us if you guys go to the fair. Again, even the adults, future farmers of America, they come and talk to us because they want to find out how they can protect everybody from mosquitoes when they become farmers. They want to know what's going on, how they can control the mosquito, what chemical they can use, or how they can reduce the water from staying up so long, not sinking into the ground. Other things that you guys can do is go to your backyard today or this evening and look what do you have in your backyard. What do I have in my yard that I don't need? How about a wagon? Does anybody have a wagon just sitting there? No? If you do, lean it up against the wall so it doesn't collect water. How about trash cans? Yeah, everybody's got trash cans, right? Make sure the lid's down. Cover the lid. Make sure it doesn't fill up with water, because remember, the trash man comes every 7 days or every 6 days, something like that. So it's enough time for mosquitoes to be able to lay their eggs in there and hatch. So how about the boat? Does a boat hold water? Yes. Exactly. Make sure the plug is off so it'll drain out. How about a swing? Does anybody have a tire swing? Tell mom and dad to make holes on the bottom of the tire. So that way when it rains, it doesn't stay in there. The water will drain out, right? If you have holes on the bottom. You're not making a place for them to come and stay. Now you got your swing and you don't have to worry about water being in your tire. Flower pots. There's mosquitoes that breed in the flower pots also. And how about the bucket? What do you do with that bucket? Do you throw it away if you're not using it?
Nope.
What can you do? Exactly. Turn it upside down so the mosquitoes can't breed in it. There's a lot of things you guys can do at home in order to protect your home from the mosquitoes. You can throw things away that you don't need. Take the time to spray yourselves. Use that off. Use that deep woods. Do whatever you need to do. Avon makes a product called Skin So Soft that you can put on. Stuff like that. Your mom and dad can find you some kind of repellent that you guys can use. Also, if you guys know there's a lot of mosquitoes, are you going to go in shorts and a tank top and exposed? So this is all exposed, right? That's the plate. Your legs are the plates because they're exposed. So you don't want that. You want to use off. Something to repel the mosquitoes. If you guys wear long pants and a long shirt, are you still going to use that repellent? Yes. Of course, even with long clothes, you want to keep that repellent. Now, do you spray it on your face? No. You want to put a little bit on your hand, rub it around like this. Try to avoid the eye area because when you're running, you what? They start sweating and it comes down into your eyes. Do you think it's going to burn your eyes? Yes. Yes. So try to just keep it down here. Don't put it around your lips either because you're going to go, it don't taste good. It don't taste good at all. So that's what you're going to do. I'm going to get into it. I'm going to start over here. I'm going to start taking your questions. You'll know if you got mosquitoes in there or larvae in there because if you notice, they'll come up to the top and get air and then they'll tumble down. We call them tumblers. How does a mosquito spray help? It's got a chemical called DEET. And mosquitoes do not like the smell. Okay, so they stay away from it. What's the big the size? They get up to about 2 centimeters. They're tiny centimeters. They're tiny and they weigh about maybe 1.5 milligrams. Well, yeah, they live in the grass. They're hiding from the sun because it's fresh in the grass, right? Every time the mosquito stings you, she puts saliva on the proboscis or the stinger. After she pulls that out, that saliva sort of gets a little bit like a itchy, stingy, or gives you like the itch. The question is, why do the fish eat the mosquitoes? Because they're a natural predator. They want to eat, so they're hungry, right? So they prefer the larva of the mosquito. I want to thank you for letting me come and speak to you guys. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys are going to take into consideration that repellent is what you need to use to protect yourselves. Also, long clothes, long pants, and avoid the areas that are a lot of mosquitoes. And if there's a lot of mosquitoes out there, give us a call. Maybe we can do something about it. So again, I want to thank you. You guys were a good class. I enjoyed talking to you guys.